So, Marcelo, thank you very much for joining us, the filmmaker behind Happy Those Who Cry. Congratulations with your nominations.
Thank you very much. Really,
pleasure.
really, I appreciate it.
No, we really appreciate you being at the festival as well. Yeah, it's always lovely to see the filmmakers here behind their films, and it's a privilege. And it's always the same question to start, which is the idea. Where was the germ for making this film from? What inspired you to make it?
Okay, everything the parts of an insight where I really changed my mind and my style of life, let's say 6 years ago, more or less, where I was very stressed. I used to work in insurance industry, and after that I became, let's say, more spiritual. And one morning I wake me up and I thought to write a book or a script, but in reality in Latin America the people doesn't read so much, the average people.
So just to clarify, no filmmaking experience at all before this?
No.
Okay.
Even just some normal let's say videos take it for the family or some particular situations with the mobile. So
Yes.
anything professional in reality before.
Yeah.
So that's why I look for a partner, a friend in our tiny industry, film industry in our country, that it practically doesn't exist. It's insipid one, and I found a partner. But when he found a lot of problems and troubles to do this film with the lack of industry, he rejected at the end to accompany me. So I must double the bet, and I said, why not? And I became director. So, and I enjoy it. Really.
So you found a partner that fell through, but you just suddenly thought, okay, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this film. But just rewinding slightly, funny enough, we've got another filmmaker out there. He was an accountant before, and similar story. He just said he'd had enough of the lifestyle he had, found it grinding, very stressful. Is that kind of what happened to you with your job?
Yes, I found here many films I saw more or less with the same background, let's say.
Yeah.
People that are in with insights or with determination to do that, and finally they did. Yesterday I saw one film, Popolo it was.
Oh yes.
And the story of the
Incredible.
guy
Yeah.
is,
I interviewed him yesterday. It's unbelievable.
in my point of view, is much better than the history telling during the film.
Yes, I sort of said that to him yesterday. The film is fantastic, but the
Yes,
background is
indeed.
unbelievable.
Indeed. Just a guy go into marine to become filmmaker, so it's fantastic. In my case, was something similar in the sense. Okay, I did all the process since the beginning. I write it, I direct it, I accompanied all the post-production process, and now I trying to distribute it. So by obligation, I became not an expert, but a known. So my second film, which is on pipeline right now, is it's a very an improvement of all these studies or this experience I had.
So you decided you want to make this film yourself. You're going to direct it. Can I assume that the money you needed was your money, or did you?
In this case, was
Yes.
my money. Yes, that really appears some businesses just before the movie starts. So I used to say it was given to me for that purpose, because I have a sense of mission in that to transmit some values and some universal values, not something specific, because in our reality now the people try to say that black is white and white is black, or a little bit gray. So my point of view is not to lose the point, not to miss the mission.
Yes.
And if we decide to do something or whatever, okay, just focus on the things they are. So the truth is one, and if they are right, it's right, and it is wrong. That's the sense of mission I has compelled to do this.
And did you, the filmmaking process that you found, was it as positive and life affirming? That might be the wrong way to describe it, but is it everything you hoped it would be? You know, you're making a film, you've had a complete change of career. Effectively, you're a one-man band to make this film. Is it a disappointment in afterwards, everything that's evolved? Is it exactly how you hoped it would be?
No, really no. I had something in my mind. I found many problems during the shooting, and inconsistency about the organization,
Yes.
and lack of equipment
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
So some things that I had in mind, and the people you normally yes, we have everything, but in the moment we need it, they haven't.
No.
So we must almost rewrite the history 3 times during the shooting, in some parts, taking characters away, because some impossibilities to continue this way. So I was really surprised at the end when if everything was finished, and I was so involved that I can't appreciate what really we did. But when I took a little bit distance away from the film, from the job,
Yeah.
it really satisfied in the sense that I must be conscious that was my very first film, no previous experience,
Yeah.
and what we reached was something acceptable in the industry, and that's why now, with all this in mind, I am looking for more professional people to be with, and for the second project. But what I am sure is that in our country at least, and surroundings, the film fulfilled the expectations of what it was made for,
Yeah.
which was to introduce a conversation into our society. What happens in our society? As a lack of film, we just consume foreign products. So we doesn't have a mirror where we can see ourselves and return our images. So it's like you put in front of the mirror, and it gives another image that's in reality you are. So what it is talking in our history is our part of our real history and our real reality in our society. So now we have this possibility that before we haven't normally. Too many commercial products from US and also from Argentina on TV shows, and so that it doesn't really shows our reality. So the intention is, okay, this is our reality, and let's talk about it. Could be improved, could be changed, could be moved, but let's talk about us as well. It doesn't mean that, okay, we don't want to look other realities, but in our case is just having outside of foreign realities, and practically not local contents, because a lack of funds and everything for this kind of culture manifestation. So this was the mission, and this mission was fulfilled. We also bought some mobile cinemas, because in all the country we have 30 cinemas in our country.
Really, just 30?
Yes, just 30. Yes, and just on the capital city practically. So the rest of the country, we have the 90% of the population has never been in a cinema, which is really impressive. So yes, TV arrive every place, but no, not movies or cinemas specifically. And for that reason, it's an interesting program, and trying to reach partner and to reach funds to do that was another another heavy job, because the people are not habituated to spend in or to invest in this kind of cultural manifestation in our country. So arriving there with Happy Those Who Cry, and not even kids, people and old men that for first time being in a cinema was fantastic. Look their face and
what was
reactions.
the reaction with it? I mean, obviously we've got no reference point in the UK. Everyone I know pretty much has been to the cinema, so it's no big deal. But it must have been a marvellous thing to witness, to see someone that hadn't seen that media before. I mean, because you can't compare it to TV, you know, something with a big screen. So what kind of reaction did you get?
Yes, it was impressive. For instance, a couple of months ago, we arrived to a Aboriginal tribe who never was in a cinema, and in the middle of the place, we put the screen 10 meters wide for 6 and something meters high.
Fantastic.
And we saw there almost 1,000 people all together enjoying that, and their face and the happiness they show after it, and pleasing for more contents. It really was satisfactory, really.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's wonderful. I mean, it's hard to imagine how you can sort of pick up or leave the job you had and just have a complete career change, especially in a country where it's so difficult to make films. You know, again, we had a guy yesterday, and the Marine, actually Popolo, and they say he did that, but the difference was with him, I think, was even though it's Hawaii, so the reference was quite difficult to make a film for the same kind of reasons. But I suspect even there it was a little bit easier than what you went through. So now you've got the film, Happy Those Who Cry, showing. Has this enabled you to, so far, to present to potential backers, investors, whatever, and say, well, look, this is what I've done, I'm trying to make my second film? Has it generated more interest?
Well, first of all, make a change in my career, let's say. It's really difficult. Sometimes because after 30 years to being insurance man and one of the leader in the crop insurance market in my country, and the people still are calling me for advising and everything.
What, insurance?
Yes.
And we said, no, I've left all that behind.
Yeah. And I am okay. Some of them, some of those phone calls I pick up and I be with them because it's hard after 30 years.
Yeah, of course, to let it go.
Yeah. And still, I am questioning myself if I am doing right. But when I look all the people enjoying and the people talking about this, and for instance, in the movie, I was invited by many high schools to show the picture, the movie.
Yeah.
And at the end, they used to request a small talk, and I, for instance, asked what happens, why, for instance, this is something particular that it happens in many schools. Why do you think the young men take drugs during the history? And one of them said because he is alone. The other said the communication with the fathers is practically inexistent, and so on. They gave me normally 6 to 5 to 6 common reasons. After that, I took and write on the wall the reasons, and after that I questioned all the 400 school boys there, and how many of you are feeling alone in your home? And almost the half of the people, the guys, are indicating with their hands.
Wow.
So how many of you have a lack of conversation with your fathers? And also the same thing. So they gave you a feedback and shows you what are this is like a diagnosis, what our youth, our guys are feeling or are happening with their fathers and family. So it is very useful for that reason. And my main goal was to achieve was the possibility to do a film to talk about, but attractive, nothing something annoying or without you lose the attention and so. And this is the reinforcement that pushed me in front. And the other is the second answer is that yes, I am. I thought that will be easier for the next one in my country to find someone that want to accompany me. But at the end of the day, is the same difficulty.
Still was difficult.
So even with the our for instance, our film was awarded in Vatican, and I received from the Pope the recognition about the value of this of the film last year. So even though with this kind of recognitions, in the sense that I just mentioned the Pope because it's a very popular one in this moment.
Yes, it is, yeah.
Even though local companies or culture ministries, so they doesn't have more or doesn't pay too much attention on this. So I am looking for international partners, and right now I am trying to convince other companies outside my country in order to be in the second one. So let's hope it happens.
And just finally, are you, when you look back at the life you had before and now, are you a different person? Has it changed you? I mean, do you feel differently? You know, the pressure you had before in insurance and now being a filmmaker, the way you feel internally to the way you were there, are you different? Has it made a difference?
I am different since 6 years ago, more or less, when I look for a change in my life. And what the problem is not the just your occupation, like insurance or films. In my case, my problem was I myself, in the sense that I used to be because I was swimmer and former champion for my country, and I was on world competitions, and so I was so competitive, and I don't look partners is colleagues, but competitors. So it was a problem in my side. Now what happens with the film? The film is just unique. Could it like you or not? But this is the history or is the opera, let's say.
Yeah.
So it has no comparison. It's not like a business proper, in the sense that you are just competing by prices, by kind of services, and in this you can tell some story which normally could be original, could be different, could have success in the sense reach many people or not. But this is a kind of work I am liking, because I don't feel the pressure of the company or the pushing me in order to be at the same level. It doesn't mean that I will not accurate everything to be very, very specific and looks like very professional. But I really enjoy this. The creative process really allows you to express some things that normally in a meeting, in business meeting, it's not possible. Just numbers or results, and that's it. And everything is about some relation, but commercial relation. In this, you can go deeper with the characters, with the actors and the people, and you can enjoy it really, all the path. Yes.
I mean, every filmmaker that I've spoken to that have had a career change have all said they could never go back to what they were doing before. It's impossible once they've made a film.
In my case, I am looking and I am feeling the same, and more than this, because I am in the 5th year on theology studies. Yeah. So I am more, let's say, spiritual than before. Yeah. So now I am enjoying really many things of life that I was losing, in the sense of I was so focused on my business that doesn't allow me to review my life, to review what is really the mission of the life or so, and to reflect. And now I'm having this, I am deserving this. Is like a present to me, and I have received, so I really care about.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you to you.
Fascinating.
Este tema va dedicado a todas las personas que se sienten acosadas en su vida.
¿Por qué no agarran los libros? O te pones a trabajar si quieres.
Es podrido que la gente me diga lo que tengo que hacer siempre.
¿Te acordás de Ricardo? Su hijo ha desaparecido.
Si se muere, es tu culpa.
No seas necio. Estos tipos te van a hacer pedazos.
Te vas a tu casa y te encerras. Y no salís hasta que yo diga.
Vos sabés algo más y no me querés contar.
Me importa 3 carajos los inocentes.
Nada de armas.
Dejen que mi hijo se vaya.
¿Ves lo que yo veo?